so mad? Y'all are in Love Island. This is what happens. People get voted out. I'm confused.
Back up on my bullshit, back up on the scene. Done dealing with you, don't know how to deal with me. Done fucking with you, don't know how to love me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Sharon. So today we are going to be reviewing Love Island USA episode 35. It's a lot to say, so let's get into it. Just kidding. Before we get into the video, I need you to give the video a thumbs up and then hit the subscribe button, okay? It helps the channel, it helps the content. Do me that solid. Now let's get into it. So when the episode comes on, you know, they do the recap and then they say, and tonight. And when I saw like Jeff and Timmy like basically getting into it, my heart was beating fast. I was nervous. I'm like, what is happening? Like, why are they like getting into it? I felt like the boys seemed to all be pretty cool. The girls, everybody on the show be seeming to be pretty cool. So I was just like, what would make it so that they're now literally about to fight? Like, what's happening? Anyways, but that's later on in the episode. But when I first saw that like preview, that's really all I cared about after that. I was just really wanting to get to like what happened. But we're going to go through like the whole episode. So Jeff and Naja leave the hideaway. Jeff talks to the boys. Naja talks to the girls. And then they say that they talked all night. And it's like, we know what happened. We know what y'all did. We know. Okay? We know. But if y'all don't want to say, that's fine. So also, Jesse and Timmy talk, and Jesse just basically says that he's gonna give Deb the time that she needs, and he is basically going to really try to like keep moving forward with her and really working it out and really trying to see if they could get to the point of exclusivity. So while Timmy and Jesse talk, Zeta and Deb talk, and then she says that like she doesn't want to discourage him from like being vulnerable, but I feel like in most cases, I feel like that would discourage somebody from being vulnerable, but I feel like because he's talking to other people and they just telling him like, you know, don't like fall back, because even he said like I'm trying to put my pride to the side, so I feel like that would make anybody not want to be vulnerable. But I feel like Jesse is really pushing through it and he really is trying to continue to be open, so kudos to him because he really is fighting through a lot. I know he felt rejected and hurt and all of that stuff, but he still is fighting through a lot. I don't know if in the long run that would be beneficial for him, because it just kind of seems like I said, like that thing that Deb feels like is missing is an intangible thing. And then it's meet the parents time. So first up was Deb and Jesse, and then Deb's parents came on first and then Jesse joined, and I loved how supportive Deb's family was of Jesse, and then Jesse's family came on, his mom and his grandma, and I feel like all of the parents throughout this episode, they were very supportive of the couples and the relationship. I felt like all of the parents were like, yo, we team y'all, so that was really nice. But Deb and Jesse was up first. Again, like Deb's family was nice, Jesse's family was nice, they got to meet each other, and so that was cute and that was cool. And I'm assuming that this is something that is done on Love Island, you know, across every season, so that was really sweet. And then it's Zeta's turn, Zeta's family and then Timmy's family. So Zeta is up first. She go over, she have her mom, she cry, her mom cries, and I really liked I love to see people be able to just be honest and real with like their people, like with their mothers or their fathers or both or whatever the case may be, because I feel like you got like in this world you always have to have like your peoples that like they'll give it to you real, they'll give it to you raw, and you could just be your authentic self. And you know what I'm saying, I felt like that's what Zeta had like with her mom, like they was like here, it seemed like. So it was nice to see that they were approving of Timmy, and the mother was like, listen, when you recouple with Jeff, I wasn't here for it, okay? And none of us were, but she had to do what she had to do. But yeah, so then Timmy comes on and then he meets everybody, and I just feel like they had such a nice natural chemistry. I'm telling y'all, this Zeta and Timmy situation could be the real thing. Like I honestly said, like I said before, I feel like they could really be together outside the villa long term, building something strong and solid. So I really hope hopes. I really hope it works out for them. But yeah, when Timmy came over, it just was natural. It was like they knew each other already. So that was nice to see. And then Timmy's sister comes on, Naomi, and then they get to meet each other's family, and then Zeta gets to meet Naomi, and it just was really nice. So then it's Phoebe and Chad's turn. Phoebe is up first, and her family comes on, and then Chad comes in, and then like his family comes on. But first up is Phoebe, and listen, Phoebe has her father's same face. Like, Phoebe looks exactly like her father, literally. Like, she looks exactly like her father. Yeah, like when she was saying that, like, this is an adventure that she always wanted, I was just kind of like, what does that mean exactly? Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess Love Island is an adventure, but, and then she like, to have made it this far, and it's like, but low key, you kind of just got here. So, I don't know. But I ain't gonna get on her too much. So she talked to her family, and then Chad comes over, and then they basically say that, like, they having fun, they getting to know each other, which is what they should be doing at this point. And everybody was nice. And then it is Sydney and Isaiah's turn. And I felt like Isaiah was so nervous. Like, oh my gosh. But Sydney was up first, and then she went over and she started to cry. And I felt like when her mother had brought up the thing about the tweet, Sydney started to cry again, and I could just tell that she not all the way healed from that yet, and that really hurt her. But the mother said that, like, it wasn't a comparison. And yes, Isaiah didn't say out loud, like, compared to Sydney, Phoebe is this. No, he didn't say that, but he did say something along the lines of, yeah, and Phoebe's natural beauty. So it's like, to use the word natural, I feel like that's where people got that inadvertent comparison. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Sydney talks to her family, her mother, her sister, and that was sweet. And then Isaiah came over, and they liked Isaiah. I know the sister said that the father was like, we got some things to discuss. And as they should. But yeah, I felt like they clicked well too. And then Isaiah's family comes on. And his little sister was so cute. First of all, I think the name Bryn is so unique. I don't know a single soul named Bryn. So I thought that name was so cute and so unique. And I like the way it's spelled with the two N's, like, just super cute. And then she had the red hair in her hair for Sydney, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. I love that. So it seems like both sides are in support of them being together. And I love that the end of the conversation when Sydney left, where Isaiah's mother was just like, yo, you need to make sure that because you did what you did, that you are kind of sort of going over and beyond to be vulnerable and to show her how much you appreciate her and care about her and stuff. And yes, no truer words have been said. So then it is Jeff and Naja's turn. And of the families, I feel like Jeff's family was the only one that kind of like threw a little bit of shade, but then tried to like backpedal and pussy pop. But yeah, so Naja comes over, and then Jeff tells Naja that his father's a little iffy, and then she asks why, and then he backpedals. And so yeah, then Naja family comes on, and she starts to cry. And I felt like Jeff could have talked to her father with a little bit more respect. He was just being a little bit too like round the way, and it's like, yes, be yourself, but be a more respectful version of yourself when you're meeting someone's father for the first time. Okay? But yeah, that was that. Then they get a text, and they get dressed, and then they get a text, because I'm really just trying to get to, like, because I have words to say, and I need to hurry up. I got a nail appointment. But they get dressed, and they get a text, and it is time for them to go to the fireplace. And I feel like they know when they go to the fireplace, something is about to happen. So basically, one couple will be dumped from the island tonight, and it is basically up to the villa to decide. And then the couples each individually have to vote for who they want to send home. Now, here's what really started to annoy me, right? Because I feel like Jeff was talking to Naja, and this is my own theory, right? I feel like he knows that Naja and Phoebe started to click, and it was super tight. And just going back for a second, when they first got the text and everybody was acting like, oh my gosh, this could be so hard, it's like, why? To me, that wouldn't have been a hard choice, like Phoebe and Chad, obviously. They have been there the least amount of time. They have the weakest connection. Get rid of them. Like, no shade, no hard feelings, but like, yeah, y'all, that, like, but anyway, Jeff knows that Naja and Phoebe were cool, and he knew, because everybody should know, that Phoebe and Chad would be at the bottom, and they would be the ones voted out. So he knew that Naja was going to be sad about it, and then he even said, like, oh yeah, tried to like put his cape on, like, oh yeah, well, I'ma say something. I'ma stand up and say something about that shit. You don't even gotta say nothing. I'ma say something. And it's like, when I was watching, I was so confused as to why he was so upset. Why are you so mad that Phoebe and Chad are gonna be the ones voted out? Other than the fact that her and Naja are super tight. Why are you so mad? Y'all are in Love Island. This is what happens. People get voted out. I'm confused. Why are you so upset? Sitting over there pouting and mumbling under your breath like a little ass girl. Why are you so mad? The couples talk, and then I also feel like when they were doing like their voting, I feel like Jeff, when he was talking about the couple that he wanted to vote out, he was just a little bit too like aggressive and a borderline mean about it. I feel like whenever people are saying why they want to vote somebody out, they're always doing it with grace and kindness, and I don't feel like he had that. And it's like, if Jesse's supposed to be your boy, why are you coming at their couple like that? Like, I was just confused. Each couple votes, and then Deb and Jesse had 2 votes, and then Phoebe and Chad had 2 votes, and then Isaiah and Sydney ultimately was the tiebreaker, and they voted for Phoebe and Chad. I was like, obviously. So then Jeff gets even more upset, and as everybody is saying their goodbyes, he start like saying all of this stuff under his breath, talking about it's buddy-ish and people fake as fuck. And I'm just like, what? Why again? Why are you so mad? Why? What? Like, did we miss something? Why are you so angry that somebody got voted out of Love Island when that's just what happens? I feel like Zeta and Timmy were the only ones that caught his little subliminals that he was throwing. And then why I keep calling Timmy Jesse? Timmy was trying to explain to him like, yo, you not seeing it from this perspective. And then he just start doing the most, coming and getting in Timmy's face. I'm just like, then Timmy like, what are you doing? Like, no, for real, what are you doing? He a grown man. He not about to fight you on national TV. Like, what are you doing? I just really don't understand why Jeff was so upset and why he acted like that. And then after the fact, Naja is having to apologize on your behalf because you acted a plumb fool. And she's having to apologize on your behalf, and you're getting mad at her because she didn't console you over something that you started. Chaos that you created. You want her to come and console you? For what? Then he started talking about F her and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, yo, what? How did this turn into this? I'm confused. But I feel like the gag is you tried to put your cape on for her because you thought she was probably going to be with that toxic junk of you acting a fool. And you probably thought she was going to be like, oh, my man got my back. My man got my back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And it was the complete opposite. You only did that to kind of sort of look like you was like caping for her and she wasn't with it. So it backfired and now you feel dumb. And you should feel extra dumb because at the end we see that she decides she don't even want to be with you. And so she leaves. And so now you have to leave. Corny. Now, normally I'm not in the business of writing somebody off after one like bad situation. But I feel like sometimes you have to take, and especially as I've gotten older, you got to take heed to people's actions. And sometimes that one thing could become a pattern because you didn't pay attention to it in the beginning. So I feel like Naja was like, hold up, like that's OD. So you know what, maybe we ain't really what I thought we was. And she decides to remove herself from the situation. And I feel like, yes, as you should have. Like, as you should have. When somebody is cursing you out like that, and I don't know if she heard him saying F her or not, because she didn't say that part, but I just feel like No. You talking about, I thought she was the one. You thought she was the one, but you was just saying fuck her 24 hours ago. I'm confused. What? And I feel like I was proud of Naja for being like, you know what? That's a red flag for me, and I'm not going to ignore that. And I'm going to remove myself. And I feel like more people should do that. When people show you who they are early on in situations, leave before you have any true attachments to the person. But then as I felt like I was waiting for Jeff to apologize, because here's the thing, this is where I wrote him off, because like, yes, even if you did react in a moment and you was like, yo, like mad or whatever the case may be, the next day or once you cool down, that's when you should be like, you know what, I apologize, I did not react the way I should have, and I probably said some things I shouldn't have said, and so for that I'm sorry to everybody. That never came. And then even with Naja had to pull him for a chat. Like, you should have went to her first thing in the morning like, yo, I'm sorry. I don't know what you heard, if you heard me saying the stuff I said or not, but I apologize. That should have happened. That never happened. So that's what made me feel like, nah, you just need to go. Like, no, because you didn't apologize for your actions. And I felt like when he was leaving, if I was Timmy, I wouldn't even shook his hand, because you never even addressed me and apologized for coming at me so aggressively and throwing subliminal shots. Like, we ain't cool. Anyways, that was it for this episode of Love Island. Let me know down in the comments what you thought. I really want to know what you thought. I want to know. I want to hear your perspectives. Like, sound off in the comments, okay? Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I'll catch you in the next one. I hope I ain't late for my nail appointment, girl, because I was supposed to be out of here like 5 minutes ago. But I'm going. Bye.